Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Oh my lord, we are in Bad Eisenkappel, beautiful area, Carinthia, south of Austria. Today, beautiful day. I mean, look at that, blue skies. And of course, we had to use the opportunity to check out a little crag here, Bad Eisenkappel Klettergarten. Make a couple of moves, with the family, with the kids. Family of ours who have a kid as well and live in the area. We visited them, so let's check out this crag, let's have some fun. Nice, beautiful limestone. Look at these features, man. Pretty 3D-ish. Yeah, they got these laying chairs here. Who knows what they're called in English, I have no idea. But this seems to be a chiller place. Perfect for us. Let's go. Time for a little voiceover analysis for this nice little route there. Häuptling starker Finger, 7A+. What does that translate to in English? I think it means something like chief strong finger or something. And this is how, sometimes route names can kind of give away what the difficulty of the route will probably be, because we already know that this is just by looking at it, it's a limestone crag with super huge holes and pockets and stuff like that, right? So probably in this one we will have to deal with some smaller pockets, with some finger strengthy pockets there. And lo and behold, that would be the case later on, as we will see. But first of all, we step it up here from the start into this kind of interesting more slabby terrain. And I could really feel the heat there, man. It was a hot day. As you can see, it's super in the sun. The sun is banging down there. And yeah, rock definitely got some temperature already. Could also feel it on my back. I didn't have my short climbing trousers with me, so that's why we're in the jeans. I actually need to still find those again, because didn't really need it so far, right? But this was actually the first day where some short pants would have been useful. So here, as we can see, we're standing up on these pretty slabby footholds there, a little bit closer in there with the camera, so that we can maybe get a little bit more detail. Big reach here from this undercling, standing on my toe tips. Maybe it would have been smarter to step a little higher there, but we made it super high. Well, not super high, but high left foot, and that allowed me to match there. And now I think, if I remember correctly, it's a little bit of a tricky, tricky stepping into this into this total blank wall, or almost total blank wall to the right. Higher foot, remember, in slabs and slightly vertical terrain, high stepping is almost always rewarded, okay? So it's a pretty good rule to live by. High stepping almost always rewarded in slabs and vertical terrain. Remember that, kids. So here it is. Better stepping more to the right. A little bit of tiny little stuff on my left. As you can see, we're stepping it through this very blank wall here. We're in the Scarpa Instincts again, and they did a very good service on this route, I must say. Getting the clip in, and now we are in some easier terrain again, just climbing up on some bigger pockets there, pushing, pulling a little bit, very 3D-ish there, as you can see, and we're approaching this kind of formidable looking overhang there, which is probably the crux, right? This is something that was kind of obvious, I would say, in terms of terrain from the bottom already. On the left side of the screen you can see the overall picture of the route, and as you can see, we're here at 50% done almost. So it's safe to say that the crux is around at the halfway in of the route. Getting a clip in there. And the next objective will be to kind of, cramp ourselves, kind of push ourselves into this little rest there before the crux actually starts. kind of similar to the route that we discussed last time in the last post, where I told you that sometimes it's more useful to be actually shorter when it's about, you know, squeezing yourself into these kind of 3D-ish inwards pockets where you can get a no hand rest or something. Something similar we are doing here. We're squeezing ourselves under this little overhang there and trying to get as much weight off the hands as possible, while at the same time leaning out a little bit, trying to check out the next holes, trying to make a sequence of what is probably the crux here, right? I sped up this part a little bit because it's really a lot of path finding and just leaning out and looking what's coming for 1.5 minutes. So not so interesting, and now we're actually starting into this thing here. We've got these kind of good pockets below the overhang. It was quite clear to me that there is something to the right for the right hand. As you can see, left foot very high to be able to push myself towards that. There we go. High right foot. And here, okay, strategically not so ideal, I would say, to get this clip in, but from a safety point of view, definitely made it a lot safer to have this clip for the crux, yeah. And I'm kind of a pockety, fingery person. I really like pockets. I'm usually quite strong on pockets, so for me, these pockets, although only 2-finger pocketish style, they were somewhat deep, like to this knuckle here, so I could get a lot out of them, yeah. And yeah, as you can see, I have kind of a lot of time here to search my footholds through the crux, locking off these pockets. Another side pull pocket here for the right. Here I'm realizing, okay, too low left foot, man, too low left foot for this move, higher left foot, and locking it off higher, a little intermediate here. And that was basically it, yeah, in terms of the hardest moves of this route. But yeah, here again, really high left foot, yeah, get your feet up so that you don't always have to lean out and look down into these overhangs where the footholds are invisible. Yeah, that's always a problem with these kind of small bellies like these, that you're climbing yourself into blindness when it comes to footholds, essentially. Another quick draw goes in. And although the hardest moves are over at this point, there is still a very tricky and kind of dangerous, heartbreaky sequence that comes after that. And that is as we now move to the right. And you can see that there is coming this slot down there from the top. And we gotta get into the slot because the slab that is directly above is completely blank. So I was clear, okay, for me, I need to go to the right and then up into the slot and then go a little bit more to the left again, and we will see how we do that. Here, kind of weird crossover into the bottom, you know, slopey end of this crag here with the left hand. Yeah, kind of hot, kind of sweaty fingers, man. Always a little bit not enough chalk on my fingers, you know, that's how it felt. Higher left foot there, locking off here, searching for opportunities. You know, you always have to, when you have bigger structures like these, you always have to go, you jam your hand into it, go around the corner and see if there's something good inside there, right? Some edge or some pocket where you can actually get some positive edge or something to hold on to. And now we're actually hanging, as you can see, left foot very high, pushing myself into this right downwards direction of this slot. But obviously, well, this is how I usually want to solve these kind of things, right? I want to push and then make a Gaston and go further, because Gaston wise I am quite strong and I can get my feet very high usually because I'm quite flexible, so I can usually push for a very high, for a very big move like that. But here I'm realizing, okay, it's not going to be enough because the next thing is actually quite far away for the left hand. So what I in the end did was, as you will see in a second here, maybe you can already guess it. Another quick draw goes in, again strategically kinda questionable, because this crux could have definitely been done without this quick draw, safety wise, and maybe I had spared a little more energy in my forearms if I had skipped that clip and did it later on, right? So what I did here, I got this intermediate here for my left, if I remember correctly. Or was it not good enough still? Yeah, I keep searching. Very high right foot there. trying to not gas out on this very slopey, not ideal holds really. Yeah, you shouldn't stand there too long. It's definitely very heartbreaky, and the footholds are not good either. So yeah. What did I do there, man? There it goes. Super high right foot, and then turning this right hand around into an undercling, pushing with my left hand onto this belly from above, from below, and then actually managing myself to push myself over this kind of belly thing until I get my left foot into the bottom end of the slot, and then I'm able to climb, to keep climbing. Yeah. So yeah, I couldn't really get around the Gaston. I couldn't really, get around the turnaround and make it an undercling. I wanted to do it as a Gaston for the longest time, but I couldn't really do it. And that was basically the solution there, just turning the right hand around, and the rest of the route is relatively convenient. A little bit of pathfinding here and there, but nothing major, nothing serious. So that's how we ran it out to the top and clipped that anchor. So that was a very, very sweet onsight, I must say. Häuptlingsstarker, a very nice 7.8 plus of the Bad Eisenkapper Crag. I can only recommend it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed the little onsight today. I hope you're strong and healthy somewhere out there and crushing your projects, man. It would be absolutely great. I would say I will hear and see you soon, my friends. Bye.